Have you ever felt like the world is spinning too fast and you can't find the brakes? Do emotions hit you out of nowhere? Anger, sadness without a clear reason? Why does life feel so chaotic and loud even when all you want is a moment of peace? There's a story. A woman sits at a bus stop. It's raining. Cars are honking. The stranger beside her complains loudly, yet she remains still, quiet, calm. She's not angry. She doesn't react. She simply observes. What's her secret? Welcome to Insightful Journey, where we share timeless Buddhist teachings for the modern world. If you're searching for peace, clarity, and calm in a world that never slows down, you're in the right place. Thousands watch our videos, but only 0.2% subscribe. So please, like, comment, share, and subscribe now. Your support helps us continue sharing life-changing wisdom with you every week. Let's begin. In Buddhism, observation isn't just about looking, it's about being deeply present. When you remain calm and observe without reacting, judging, or escaping, something shifts inside you. Most people believe peace comes when problems disappear, but Buddhist wisdom says otherwise. Real peace begins when you stop fighting the moment. When you pause and simply watch your breath, your feelings, your surroundings, the mental noise begins to quiet down. Why is this so powerful? Because the mind is like water. When it's agitated, we can't see clearly. But when it's still, the truth reflects back. The Buddha didn't run from life. He sat under a tree and observed everything, his breath, his pain, his thoughts, until deep understanding arose. This series will show you how to do the same. In traffic, during conflict, amid stress, or even silence. Observe, don't react, understand. This is the path. This is the strength. Chaos is not the enemy. It is the teacher, and this is why stillness matters. Take a moment, sit down, breathe deeply. The world is loud. Cars, phones, people, thoughts. But here's the truth. Stillness is not the opposite of chaos. Stillness is what is born within it. You don't need to escape life to find peace. You need to understand it. To understand it, you must observe it. To observe it, you must first be still. But how do you find stillness when the world constantly pulls at you? Let me share a story. A young monk once told his master, "I cannot meditate, my mind jumps like a monkey." The master replied, "Let it jump." "But how can I find calm in the noise?" the boy asked. The master smiled. "Noise is not the enemy. Your resistance to it is. Calm doesn't come from the outside. It rises when we stop resisting what's already here. Even in the middle of chaos, life is trying to teach you. When someone shouts and anger rises, that's a lesson. When traffic frustrates you, that's a teaching. When plans collapse and emotions flood in, that's the classroom. What if you didn't react? What if you just watched? Not easy, but possible. The great Buddhist teachers didn't find peace only in mountains. They found it in their breath, in their pain, in everyday life. Stillness isn't silence around you. Stillness is silence within you. It's like a candle that doesn't flicker even when the wind blows. When you observe without rushing to react, you begin to see clearly. This is vipassana, clear seeing. Not through fear, not through judgment, but through calm awareness. Look back on your life. The painful moments. Didn't they teach you something? Maybe the breakup revealed how much your happiness depended on others. Maybe the loss reminded you how fragile life. Maybe the failure opened a door you didn't know existed. Chaos is the teacher you try to avoid, but it returns until you stop running and learn. Only then does it soften. In Buddhism, we say, when the student is ready, the storm becomes the lesson. Your pain is not the enemy. Your noisy world is not a prison. They are invitations to pause, to breathe, to observe. But this takes courage. To observe pain without escaping is harder than running away. So here's a small practice. Next time someone irritates you, do nothing. Yes, absolutely nothing. Just watch your breath. Watch the heat rising in your body. And remember, the moment you choose to observe instead of react, you've already stepped onto the path of peace. Don't speak, don't move, just witness, like a passing cloud drifting through the sky. You'll begin to notice something beautiful. The emotion rises, and then it fades, like a wave in the ocean. It comes, it goes, it never stays forever. Because you are not the wave, you are the ocean. People often think power comes from control, but true power lies in non-reaction. The one who yells isn't strong. The one who stays quiet, watching with clarity and wisdom, that is strength. Even the Buddha was once insulted by a man. The man shouted, cursed, full of anger. But the Buddha remained silent. Later the man asked, "Why didn't you respond?" And the Buddha replied, "If someone offers you a gift and you don't accept it, who does it belong to?" The man answered, "To the one who gave it." "Exactly," said the Buddha. "I did not accept your anger. This is what stillness can do. And you may think it's difficult, but you've already done it many times. When you were a child, you watched clouds float for hours. When you were in love, you gazed into someone's eyes without needing words. When you were hurting, you sat silently, feeling everything deeply. The skill is not new. We're simply remembering it now. Next time chaos knocks at your door, don't panic. Smile softly, sit still, and gently ask, "Welcome. What are you here to teach me?" Maybe it's teaching your patience. Maybe it's showing you your own ego. Maybe it's asking you to slow down or let go. Whatever it is, observe it. Learn from it. We live in a world where silence feels uncomfortable. The moment it's quiet, we grab our phones. We scroll endlessly, trying to avoid what might rise from within. But peace isn't found by running. It's found by stopping. Turn off the noise. Sit with yourself. Just breathe. Feel your breath. Watch your thoughts. Let everything be just as it is. That is the beginning of true stillness. You don't need to be a monk. You don't need a cave or a temple. You just need this moment. Stillness is not a destination. It's a choice you make again and again, especially when it's hardest. That's when it transforms you. The world will keep spinning. Let it. You sit, you breathe, you observe. And in that quiet witnessing, you begin to see not just the world, but yourself. This is the way of the calm observer. This is the wisdom hidden in chaos. Let's walk this path together, slowly, silently, clearly. And when the storm returns, because it will, you'll remember stillness was never far. It lives within you, always waiting. The power of watching without reacting. Sit, breathe, no rush, no pressure to understand it all at once. Let's speak slowly, gently, like wind through a quiet forest. Today I'll tell you something simple but life-changing. Watch without reacting. Don't jump to defend. Don't rush to judge. Don't speak too quickly. In this noisy world, everyone reacts fast. Someone says something, and you snap back. Someone does something, and your anger flares. Your mind becomes a boiling pot, always bubbling. But have you ever just watched? This is not weakness. This is not apathy. This is true power. When you observe without reacting, you remain awake inside. You become aware. You begin to see the moment clearly. You stop letting others control your emotions. You stop giving your peace away for free. Let me share a story. A student once asked a Zen master, "Master, people insult me, lie about me, shout at me. What should I do?" The master said, "Go sit by a river. Watch the water flow. Do you try to stop it? No. Do you get angry at it? No. You just watch, and the water moves on." The student asked, "But won't people think I'm weak?" The master smiled. "Is the mountain weak because it doesn't shout back at the wind? The mountain stands silent, strong, unmoved. That is the power of watching without reaction. When someone insults you, it's their energy. You don't have to catch it. You don't have to carry it. Let it pass like a cloud. Even when a negative thought arises, "I'm not good enough," or "no one loves me," don't believe it instantly. Just sit with it. Observe it. Ask yourself, where did this come from? Is it even true? You'll discover that most thoughts are just shadows passing through. They are not you. In Buddhism we say, the mind is like the sky. Thoughts are just clouds. You are the sky. When you react to every cloud, you forget the sky. You lose your stillness. But when you just watch, the sky remains clear, peaceful, vast. Let's make this practical. You're in traffic. Someone honks aggressively behind you. Your heart races. You feel irritation rising. But you pause. You remember. Watch. Don't react. You breathe. And in that moment, the honking stays outside. It doesn't enter your peace. That is strength. Or maybe at work, someone blames you unfairly. Your instinct is to shout, to defend. But instead you observe their words, their tone, their energy. You breathe. You respond calmly. Or sometimes you say nothing at all. Because many problems solve themselves when we don't pour our energy into them. Watch. Don't react. This is the path. This is your power. And sometimes it's not the world shouting. It's your own mind. Thoughts race. In your failing. You'll never make it. You're not enough. But these aren't facts. They're just mental habits. Old echoes. Watch them. Let them rise. Let them pass. Like waves in the ocean. Don't fight the waves. Be the rock beneath them. Let them crash. You remain still. This is the Buddhist teaching. When Siddhartha sat under the Bodhi tree, Mara came. Mara, the symbol of fear, desire, confusion. Mara tried everything to distract him, scare him, tempt him. But the Buddha didn't react. He didn't fight. He simply watched, and Mara disappeared. That is the power of watching, without reaction. Let's bring this into daily life. When anger rises, don't suppress it. Don't act on it. Just observe. Say gently to yourself, "Ah, this is anger. It has arrived. Let me see what it wants." And then breathe. When someone praises you, stay grounded. Yes, praise feels good, but it is also fleeting. Don't chase it. Don't cling to it. Just notice it. When sadness visits, don't run. Don't label it bad. Just sit with it. Let it speak. Sometimes sadness only wants to be seen, and when you truly see it, it begins to soften and leave. When you learn to observe your thoughts, your emotions, others' behavior, you become like a mirror. The mirror reflects everything, but it clings to nothing. The mirror doesn't react. It doesn't shout. It doesn't cry. It simply reflects, calmly, clearly. That's what we practice. People ask, how do I stop reacting? The answer is, don't stop, slow down. Give yourself space. One breath, one pause, one heartbeat. That space between the event and your response. That is your freedom. And with practice, that space grows. Your clarity grows. Your peace deepens. You become the calm in the middle of the storm. Still, present, unshaken. This isn't something mastered in a day. It takes time. But even one moment of watching without reacting is enough. It is beautiful. It is peace. So start small. Just watch. Observe your thoughts. Observe your feelings. Observe people without rushing to fix, to judge, to defend. Just be still. Be present. Be aware. This is Zen. This is power. This is freedom. And always remember, you are not what happens to you. You are the space that sees it all. Stay calm. Observe everything. React to nothing, and peace will begin to reveal itself. And once you taste true peace, you begin to discover your true self. That self is not angry, not afraid, not confused. That self is clear, still, awake. That self is watching right now. Mindfulness beyond meditation. Let me tell you something important. Mindfulness is not just a practice for 10 minutes with eyes closed. It's not limited to the cushion, the incense, or the quiet room. That's only the beginning. Real mindfulness begins the moment you stand up and live. When you walk, when you speak, when you cook, when you listen, when you struggle. It's not about carving time out. It's about bringing awareness in. If you only practice mindfulness while sitting, it's like lighting a candle in a storm and leaving it outside. It won't last. So let's begin. Right now. Are you truly here, reading this with full attention? Or is your mind half here, half somewhere else, thinking about yesterday, worrying about tomorrow? That's the habit of the mind. It runs, it chases, it plans, it fears, it rarely stays here. But mindfulness is the gentle art of returning to now. The Buddha taught, there is no other moment but this one. You can't breathe yesterday's breath. You can't drink tomorrow's tea. Life is only happening now. miss the now, and you miss life. So how do we practice mindfulness beyond meditation? Start with small, ordinary moments. When you brush your teeth, do only that. Feel the bristles, smell the mint, hear the sound. If your mind wanders, smile and gently bring it back. When you eat, eat slowly, chew fully, taste deeply. This isn't about slowness, it's about presence. Most people eat while scrolling, talking, watching. They miss the meal. They miss the joy. They miss the moment. A mindful meal, even a simple one, nourishes both body and soul. Try it with walking. You take many steps each day. How many are you aware of? Zen monks walk as if kissing the earth with each footstep. They know when the foot rises, when it lands. This brings stillness to the heart. Try walking slowly once a day, not as a task, but as an act of love toward life. Now let's talk about speaking. Most of us talk without awareness. We react. We explain. We try to win, to impress, to control. But mindful speech begins with silence. Before speaking, pause. Ask yourself, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Then speak slowly, clearly, with presence. Let your words flow like water, not burn like fire. And what about listening? Real listening is rare. Most people don't listen, they wait for their turn to reply. But a mindful listener becomes like a calm lake. Whatever is said lands softly on the surface, without judgment, without interruption. Listening like this is a true gift. Now let's return to emotions. They rise like storms, anger, sadness, fear. But mindfulness teaches, you are not the storm. You are the sky. When anger comes, feel it in the body. Notice your breath. Say softly, ah, this is anger. That pause, that awareness, changes everything. You don't have to fight the feeling. You only need to see it. And when you see it, it begins to pass. Because all things pass. But when you don't observe, you react. You speak harsh words. You hurt others. You hurt yourself. Later you regret. So instead, slow down. Stay present. You can even practice mindfulness while washing dishes. Feel the water. Smell the soap. Hear the clink of the plates. Let that be your meditation. If the mind wanders, gently, kindly bring it back. Many say, I don't have time to be mindful. But mindfulness doesn't require extra time. It requires only your attention. You can be mindful while doing anything. Walking, cleaning, working, parenting. The key isn't what you do. The key is how you do it. There's a story of a young monk who once asked his master, Master, what is your practice? The master replied, when I eat, I eat. When I walk, I walk. When I sleep, I sleep. The young monk was puzzled. But master, everyone does that. The master smiled gently. No, most people eat, but their mind is elsewhere. They walk, but they're lost in thought. They sleep, but their minds never rest. I do these things fully. That is my practice. So now let me ask you, are you truly living your life? Or are you lost in thought? To live awake means to take your life back from habits, distractions, emotional reactions, and autopilot living. When you live awake, you choose your responses. You notice the beauty in small things. You move through the world, not like a machine, but like a wise, soft, and aware being. Mindfulness doesn't mean getting rid of thoughts. It means noticing them, like clouds passing across the sky. Some clouds are light, some are heavy, but none stay forever. And remember, you are not the cloud. You are the sky that watches. Now, what about silence? In today's world, silence is rare. We fill every moment with noise, screens, voices, distractions. But mindfulness teaches us that silence is not empty. It is full of answers. When you sit in silence, you begin to hear your own heart again. You notice what's really happening within you. You return to yourself. A mindful life is not a perfect life. There are still mistakes, pain, and uncertainty. But now you are no longer controlled by those things. You observe, you understand. You respond with clarity. This is the truth. Mindfulness beyond meditation is everyday awakening. It is walking through life with open eyes. It is touching the moment deeply. It is becoming a calm witness to your own existence, moment by moment. And in that still presence, peace is found. Live this way. Not only when life is easy or quiet, but especially when it's loud and difficult. Not just when you sit in stillness, but when you move through chaos. Then you're not merely surviving life, you're living it fully, awake and with wisdom. Let me share something both simple and profound. The Buddha did not see the world the way most people do. When others saw good things, they wanted to cling. When they saw bad things, they tried to escape. But the Buddha simply saw. He didn't grasp. He didn't push away. He observed calmly, clearly, completely. The problem is not what we see. The problem is how we see. Imagine you're sitting by a window. You look out. One moment, the clouds are soft and white. The next, they're dark and heavy. Did they ask for your permission to change? No. They come and go as they please. Now think of your thoughts and emotions like those clouds. Sometimes you feel joy, other times sadness. One moment you're calm, the next anger rushes in. But what if you simply watched it all, like clouds in the sky? This is how the Buddha looked at life. He saw joy. He saw suffering, but he didn't grasp at the joy or resist the pain. He just watched. That isn't weakness. That is great strength. When you can see without clinging, your mind becomes light. Your heart becomes free. Most of our suffering doesn't come from the event itself, but from how tightly we hold on to it. Let's go deeper. Someone says something unkind to you. You feel hurt, angry, offended. Your mind starts spinning. Why did they say that? You replay it over and over. But what if, instead of reacting, you simply watched? What if you became like the Buddha, hearing the same words, but not absorbing them? He simply notices, these are harsh words. No judgment, no defense, just calm seeing. This is called right view in Buddhism. It means seeing things as they are, not through the filter of our past, fears or desires. A Zen master once said, the flower is red, the bamboo is tall. That's it. Just see. No need to label it good or bad. Pure seeing is simple, but it takes practice. Some people say, but I can't help it, I feel things so deeply. Yes, that's natural. You're human. But even so, the Buddha teaches, you can train your awareness. You can strengthen your inner vision. And when your awareness grows, clinging softens, suffering lightens. Here's another image. Imagine standing beside a river. The water rushes past, carrying leaves, dirt, branches. That river is your mind, emotions, thoughts. They all flow through. Now you can jump in and try to grab at everything, or you can sit quietly on the riverbank and watch. Watching is wisdom. Jumping is suffering. When you sit beside the river of your mind without interference, a beautiful thing happens. The water clears on its own. The Buddha once said, in the seen there is only the seen. In the heard, only the heard. In the sensed, only the sensed. In the thought, only the thought. What does this mean? It means, don't mix what happens with your stories about it. Don't add extra layers of meaning, pain, or blame. If you see something beautiful, just see. No need to own it, label it, or fear its loss. This is the art of clear seeing. This is what it means to live awake. Don't let the mind say, I must have this. Just see the beauty. Nothing. If you hear something painful, don't ask, why me? Just hear the pain. Let it come. Let it go. But how can we live this way in real life? Can we practice this in the chaos of work, with family, in a busy world? Yes, this is not a practice only for monks in the mountains. It's for everyone. It's for you. Let's say you're waiting in a long line. Your phone battery is dead. You're irritated. Pause. Breathe. Feel the irritation rise, and in your mind gently say, this is impatience. It is here now. Just notice it, like a cloud drifting through the sky. Don't fight it. Don't feed it. Don't act on it. Soon it passes, and you remain calm. This is the quiet power of non-clinging observation. When you stop grabbing at everything, thoughts, emotions, people, outcomes, you begin to feel lighter. You carry less. You suffer less. Let's understand why clinging causes pain. Imagine holding a cup of hot tea. Hold it gently and it warms your hands. Cling to it tightly and it burns you. Life is like that tea. Hold it lightly, don't cling. Buddhism teaches that everything is impermanent. Nothing lasts forever. not happiness, not sorrow, not even life itself. So why cling to the past? Why hold on to what must eventually pass? The Buddha smiled often, not because everything was perfect, but because he accepted things as they are. He saw suffering, he saw death, but he did not resist, he did not cling, he observed, and his heart became still, like a calm pond in the forest. You too can have that, but it begins with practice. Start small, watch your breath, without needing to control it. Watch your thoughts, without judging them. Watch the world, without needing it to change. Little by little the mind becomes soft, open, clean. And one day, when something difficult happens, you won't panic. You'll simply say, "Ah, this has come," and you'll remain still. That is true strength. That is the Buddhist way. Seeing without clinging does not make you cold. It makes you aware. It makes you alive. Because when you stop grasping, you start truly living. You begin to enjoy the present moment, a breeze, a smile, a bird's song, without needing anything more. This isn't an escape from life. It's entering life more deeply. So train your eyes, dear one, not to search for what you want, but to see what is, clearly, gently, without holding on. That is the way of calm. That is the way of the Buddha. That is the way of freedom. Observing pain without becoming. Pain is part of life. No one escapes it. The body gets tired. The heart breaks. The mind gets confused. The question is, what do we do when pain arrives? Do we fight it? Do we run from it? Or do we observe it? A Zen master once sat beneath a tree, watching a young monk. The boy had twisted his ankle and cried out, "Master, it hurts so much." The master didn't rush to fix it. He softly said, "Look at the pain. Watch it. Don't become it." This wasn't harsh. It was a teaching. Most people, when pain appears, fall into it. It takes over their whole world. But there is another way, the gentle path of mindful observation. Watch the pain instead of drowning in it. It might sound strange at first. How can we just watch pain? The master explained, pain is like a storm cloud. If you run into it, you get soaked. If you curse the sky, the rain keeps falling. But if you sit quietly beneath a tree, you can watch the storm pass. Yes, the rain still falls, but now you are grounded. You are no longer afraid of it. When we feel pain, physical or emotional, our first instinct is to resist. Why is this happening to me? But that question only creates suffering. Instead, try this. Gently say to yourself, there is pain. That small shift creates space. You are no longer in pain. You are with pain. You are no longer saying, "I am hurting." You say, "Hurt is here." That single change opens a great door. Now pain becomes something to explore, not something to fear. The Buddha said, pain is certain. Suffering is optional. Pain comes and goes like the season, but suffering arises when we cling to our expectations, our thoughts, our fear of pain itself. So how do we observe pain? Start with your breath. Let it anchor you. Breathe in. Notice the pain. Don't resist it. Don't hold it tightly. Just observe. Where is it in your body? Is it sharp or dull? Does it move? Can you imagine its color or shape? You may notice, just by watching, the pain begins to shift. The master once told his students, if you can describe your pain, you are no longer inside it, you are observing it, and that is power. Some pain isn't physical. Heartbreak, loneliness, betrayal. These wounds can feel even heavier, but the practice remains the same. Notice the feeling. There is sadness, not "I am sad." See the emotion like a passing traveler. You are the ground it walks on, steady and unmoved. This practice won't make pain disappear, but it will make you larger than the pain. And in that space, you'll find something unexpected: peace, stillness, freedom. A monk once said, when I observe my pain, I realize it is only a visitor. I stop offering it tea. We often feed our pain without realizing it. We replay the same old stories. We speak again and again about the one who hurt us, the failure we faced, the loss we couldn't accept. And with every retelling, the pain grows roots. It becomes part of us. But observation is different. Observation is quiet. It doesn't feel the pain. It just watches. Try this. Next time you feel hurt, Sit quietly, close your eyes, don't reach for your phone, don't run to food or noise or distraction. Just sit, feel what's there, gently name it. This is fear. This is anger. This is grief. Then breathe, slowly, deeply. Be with your pain like a calm friend, and you'll notice something magical. The pain softens. In Buddhist temples, when someone is grieving or sick, the monks do not rush to cheer them up. They sit quietly beside them, their presence saying, "We see your pain. We're not afraid of it." That presence heals. You can offer that same gentle presence to yourself. Many people are afraid to look at their pain. They think, if I face it, it will grow strong. But the truth is the opposite. Unobserved pain becomes a monster. Observed pain becomes a message. Every pain carries a teaching. Sometimes it says, "Slow down." Sometimes it whispers, "Let go." And sometimes it reveals, "You are growing." When you stop and simply observe, you begin to understand. A Zen master once told a story. A man had a thorn in his foot. He cried. He blamed the ground. He cursed the forest and those around him. But he never looked at his own foot. The master smiled and said, "The thorn was small, but his fear was large." That's what pain does when we don't look at it. It tricks us. It grows in the dark. But the moment we shine the light of awareness, it begins to shrink. Stillness is medicine. Calm. Observation is the mirror that shows pain's true shape. And once you see it clearly, you can walk through it without becoming it. Buddhism never promised a life without pain. It offers something deeper, a way to meet pain with grace. The lotus blooms in mud. The Buddha's wisdom emerged after suffering, and your peace will arise, not when you escape pain, but when you sit with it, not as a prisoner but as a witness. This is the art of Zen. Stay still, observe the storm, let it pass. Remain. You are not your pain. You are the watcher. You are the mountain. You are the calm. The mind, like a river, never stops flowing. Thoughts rise and fall like waves, sometimes crashing loudly, sometimes just ripples. Many people believe their thoughts define them, but that's not the truth. You are not your thoughts. Imagine sitting beside a river. You watch leaves, twigs, and debris float past. You don't jump in. You just watch. In the same way, let your thoughts pass. Don't be swept away. When a worry or craving appears, the mind shouts, "This is urgent. You must act now." But what if you don't chase the thought? What if you simply watch? When you do this, something powerful happens. The thought loses its grip. This is the wisdom the Buddha taught. Watch your thoughts with calm attention. Don't react. Don't resist. Don't cling. And the thought fades on its own. Why does this happen? Because thoughts are like fire. They need fuel. And their fuel is your attention. The more energy and emotion you give them, the more they grow. But when you watch them without feeding them, they shrink. They vanish. A student once asked his Zen master, "Master, how do I stop thinking about painful things?" The master smiled and asked, "Do you try to hold the wind?" The student said, "No, master. I cannot hold the wind." "Then why?" The master said, "Do you try to hold your thoughts? Let them pass, like the wind." This is a profound teaching. You are not here to battle every thought. You are here to become the quiet observer. At first it may feel hard. The mind is like a wild horse. It wants to run in every direction. But with patience you learn to sit quietly, to breathe deeply, and to simply watch. And when a thought arises, instead of grabbing it, you gently name it. Worry is here. Anger has arrived. And let it pass. This is how you reclaim your peace. Not by controlling the world, but by watching your inner world. With calm eyes, with a quiet heart, with steady breath. You are not the storm. You are the sky that holds. And in that stillness, you find freedom. Sometimes when a thought arises, you might simply say to yourself, "Ah, there's a thought." And then gently return to your breath. Return to this moment. With time, you begin to see something profound. Thoughts are no longer so threatening. You stop believing every story your mind creates. You discover a quiet space between you and your thoughts. A space that brings freedom. That space is your true nature. It is still. It is clear. It is calm. Many people mistake silence for emptiness, but this silence is not hollow. It is alive. It is the garden where your truest self begins to bloom. Now think about how this applies in daily life. Someone says something hurtful. Your mind jumps in. They don't like me. I'm not good enough. And just like that, suffering begins. But if you learn to watch these thoughts as passing clouds, you are no longer controlled by them. The hurt may still exist, but it does not grow into suffering. The same happens with anger. It rises like a flame. The mind wants to burn everything in its path. But if you can watch that flame with awareness, with stillness, it begins to cool. It loses its grip. You become like the mountain standing strong in the storm. The winds rage, the rain falls, but the mountain remains. This gentle practice of watching your thoughts without reacting is mindfulness. Mindfulness does not mean stopping your thoughts. That is not possible. It means changing your relationship with them. You stop being the servant of your mind and instead become its wise master. You choose which thoughts to follow and which to let go. Let's take craving, for example. You want something: food, attention, success. The craving pulls you, creates restlessness. But when you observe that desire quietly, you see its true nature. It comes, it grows, then it fades. Desire no longer controls you. You don't react impulsively. You act with wisdom. A Zen master once said, "Thoughts are like clouds in the sky. Don't try to catch them. Don't try to push them away. Just watch." This watching is a skill, and like all skills, it needs patience and practice. Start small. Sit quietly for a few minutes each day. Just observe your mind. At first it may be wild, flooded with thoughts like a storm. That's normal. Don't fight it. Stay. With time, the storm softens. Your mind becomes clearer. Your choices more thoughtful. You begin to feel peace, not because life changed, but because your mind did. Freedom is not outside of you. It's not in the future. It's the space within you, where thoughts lose their grip, because you no longer feed them. This is the heart of Buddhist meditation, simple, yet deep. It transforms the way you live. So remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the calm watcher behind them. And when you begin to watch, really watch, you discover a peace no one can take away. Stillness, in conflict, holding peace in the fire. Sit with me now. Just breathe, slowly. Now ask yourself, what rises within you when someone speaks to you in anger? Is it fire? Is it tightness in the chest? A clenched jaw? A rush of replies forming in your head? This is where our practice begins. It's easy to stay calm in a soft world. But what happens when the fire comes? When someone blames you, misunderstands you, lies about you, shouts at you? That is the real test of calmness. That is where peace is forged. Buddhism teaches true stillness is not the absence of storms. It is the calm center within. In Zen we say, the tighter you grip the sword, the more likely you are to cut yourself. Anger is like that sword. It may make you feel powerful briefly, but it wounds you most. Peace, on the other hand, is not a sword. It is an open palm, not weak, but wise, not passive, but free. Let me tell you a story. A monk was sitting in meditation by a dusty road. A frustrated soldier passed by and shouted, "Get out of my way, old man." The monk didn't move. He simply looked at the soldier, calm, unshaken. The soldier roared, "Don't you know who I am? I could kill you without blinking." The monk replied softly, "And don't you know who I am? I could let you kill me and not blink." That is the strength of stillness in conflict. Not that you win the argument, but that you don't lose yourself. Many believe, if I stay calm, they'll walk over me. But no, calmness is not submission. It's clarity. It's the power to see beyond the moment and respond from wisdom, not heat. It's the strength to let the fire burn around you, but not within you. The Buddha was insulted many times. People threw words at him like stones, but he didn't carry those stones. He let them fall. One day, a man shouted terrible things at him. The Buddha simply asked, "If someone offers you a gift and you don't accept it, to whom does it belong?" The man replied, "It remains with the gift." "Exactly," said the Buddha. "I do not accept your anger. It remains with you. You don't have to carry what does not belong to you. When people throw anger or blame, you can let it fall like rain on stone. You don't have to soak it in. Let me leave you with something practical. Next time someone is angry with you, pause. Take one conscious breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the heat rising in your body. Notice the stories your mind begins to tell. And just watch. Don't react. When you don't react, you don't feed the fire. This is the heart of Buddhist wisdom. Remember, peace is not something you wait for. It's something you choose again and again, especially in the hardest moments. And don't think you need to be perfect. Even great monks have struggled with anger. The path is not about never falling. It's about seeing more clearly, recovering more quickly, and choosing more wisely each time. Every time you choose stillness instead of shouting, you plant a seed of inner strength. There's one more thing to understand. Many people confuse silence with fear, but silence from strength is different. It's not that you're too afraid to speak. It's that you no longer need to speak. You don't need to win, because you've already won within. So what can you do today to bring this into your life? Start small. When someone cuts you off in traffic, breathe. When a family member is rude, observe. When your mind starts an argument with someone who isn't even there, smile gently and let the thought go. This is training. There is a Zen saying, when the fighting ends inside, no enemy can exist outside. Know this deeply. No one can disturb your peace unless you allow it. Even if the whole world shouts, you can still choose to be the calm in the center, not because you don't care, but because you care more about your freedom than your temporary pride. Let me leave you with a vision. Imagine yourself as a mountain. Storms may come, winds may howl, lightning may strike, but the mountain does not shout. It does not chase the storm. It stands still, rooted, patient. Be like that. Even in fire you can remain cool. Even in chaos you can stay clear. This is not a fantasy. It is a practice. And practice begins now. Walk forward, not because the world is peaceful, but because you are. That is true strength. That is the way of Zen. Letting go through pure observation. Sit with me quietly now. Let the noise of the world fade. Listen not with your ears, but with your stillness. I want to tell you something that most people never truly learn: how to let go. Not by force, not by forgetting, not by throwing things away in anger or turning away from pain, but by simply observing. Letting go does not mean running. It means seeing things clearly, so clearly that you no longer need to hold them, fix them, or fight them. There is a great secret in Zen and the teachings of the Buddha. Observation itself is healing. When you observe something gently, closely, without judgment, it begins to shift on its own. Imagine this. You're holding a glass of water. Your hand is shaking. The water spills. You try to grip tighter, but the more you grip, the more you tremble. The only way to steady the water is to let your hand relax. This is how observation works. You don't need to control the world. You only need to see it clearly. People often ask, how do I let go of pain? And I say, sit with it, watch it, breathe with it. They reply, but it hurts. And I smile gently. Yes, it hurts. But hurting is not the same as harming. Pain rises. Pain falls like waves. The mistake most people make is trying to push pain away or pull happiness closer. But both are forms of clinging. The Buddhist path is to observe both pleasure and pain with the same calm heart. When sadness comes, don't escape it. Watch it. Where does it begin? In the chest, the throat? Is it tight or soft? Moving or still? The moment you begin observing it in this way, you are no longer lost in it. You become the witness. And the witness is always free. You are not your sadness. You are not your anger. You are not your fear. You are the one who sees. All these things rise and fall, but you remain. Let me tell you one final story. There was once a monk who carried great anger in his heart. He would snap at others, lose control, feel shame, and then repeat the cycle again and again. One day, his master said, for the next 7 days do not speak. Only watch your breath. Watch your thoughts. Do not interfere. Do not judge. Just observe. The monk followed the instruction. He sat in silence. At first his mind's screen memories rose. Old wounds reopened. But slowly, as he watched without fighting, the anger began to dissolve. By the seventh day, there was stillness in him. The master asked, "Where is your anger now?" Let that be your question too. Where is your anger now? Where is your fear now? Where is your sorrow now? Look, watch, breathe, and you'll see everything changes when you stop trying to change it and simply witness it. The monk replied, "It passed like a storm. I did nothing. I only watched." That is the power of pure observation. When you stay calm and observe, you stop feeding the fire. You let the wind blow out the candle on its own. You don't argue with your thoughts. You don't fight your emotions. You just sit and watch and let the truth reveal itself. This is not weakness. This is not laziness. This is the deepest kind of strength, the strength of non-interference. Now listen closely. You might ask, but what if the thoughts never stop? What if the feelings are too strong? That is where the real practice begins. That is why the Buddha taught mindfulness, to help us return again and again to the role of the silent witness. The witness is like the sky. Thoughts are clouds. Emotions are wind. Memories are thunder. But the sky does not fight them. The sky allows. The sky watches, and the sky is never broken. Your job is not to clear the sky. Your job is to remember you are the sky. You don't need to remove fear to be free. You don't need to erase sadness to be calm. You only need to stop attaching, stop pushing, stop pulling. Just observe. Letting go happens when you no longer say, "I want this to stop," but instead you say, "This is what's here now. Let me see it clearly." That's when the holding loosens. That's when the knots begin to That's when suffering starts to fall away. Not because you ran, but because you were brave enough to stay. In Zen we call this shikantaza, just sitting. No goals, no fixing, just being fully present with what is, without trying to change. You may ask, but how do I live this in daily life? Very simply, when you're in traffic and irritation rises, observe it. When someone insults you and anger flares, observe it. When fear comes before a big decision, observe it. Let everything inside you become your teacher. Let every emotion be a wave. Let every thought be a visitor welcomed, then gone. Let go, not by force, but by attention. The Buddha said, "All things arise and pass away." Observe this deeply, and you will know peace. So don't rush, don't fight, don't cling, don't avoid. Just breathe, just observe, and watch how everything, every pain, every thought, every craving slowly fades on its own. This is the secret the world forgot. This is the art of letting go through pure observation. Keep practicing, keep watching, and remember, you're not here to control the river. You're here to sit beside it, calmly, and see it flow. The mirror mind. Let me tell you something very old, yet deeply true. A calm mind is like a mirror. It reflects everything but holds nothing. A mirror doesn't say, "This face is good, that one is ugly." It simply reflects, clear, still, and without opinion. Your mind can be like that. Right now, for most people, the mind is not a mirror. It's a sticky surface. Everything it touches, it holds. Everything it sees, it judges. And in that holding, suffering begins. But what if you didn't hold anything? What if you simply watched everything, like clouds in the sky? In Buddhism, this is called bare attention, to notice something without labeling it. No good or bad, no I want or I hate. Just see, just reflect. Try this now. Close your eyes. Listen. Maybe you hear a fan, maybe a bird, maybe your own breath. Did you judge it? Did you say it was peaceful, annoying, boring? If not, then you have tasted the mirror mind. When your mind becomes like a mirror, your heart becomes light. No heavy thoughts, no heavy feelings, only freedom. Let's take something simple. Drinking tea. Usually the mind says, "This isn't sweet enough," or "I wish I had coffee," or "This reminds me of yesterday's tea." Now try drinking tea like a Zen monk. Just drink. Feel the warmth, the taste, the now. No commentary, no judgment. You stay. That's the secret. And here's where the real magic begins. When you stop judging the outer world, You stop judging yourself, and that's when deep peace enters, because most of our pain doesn't come from the world, it comes from the stories we tell ourselves. I'm not good enough. I always fail. I'm too slow, too emotional, too much. But those are not truths. They are judgments. They are old clouds. Now imagine your mind is a mirror again. You feel sadness, but you don't call it weakness. You make a mistake, but you don't call yourself a fool. You feel fear, but you don't say I'm broken. You simply see, sadness has arrived. It is here, like a cloud in the sky. It comes, it stays, it goes. No pushing, no clinging, no resisting. This is how a Zen master lives. A feeling comes, he bows to it. A thought comes, he smiles. A memory appears, he watches it, like a bird, flying past. This is the art. This is the practice. This is the way of Zen. Let everything rise and pass. Be still. Be open. Be the mirror. Be the sky. And most of all, be free. He lets it pass, and the mirror stays clean. The ancient masters used to say, polish the mirror daily. What does that mean? It means sit quietly. Watch your breath. Notice your thoughts. Don't chase them. Don't push them away. Just reflect them like a mirror. You see, the mirror mind is not empty like a dead stone. It is full of awareness. It sees everything, but it does not get involved in the drama. Even when someone shouts at you, stay like a mirror. Don't shout back. Don't build walls. Just let the words come and go. People may say, but if I don't react, I'll look weak. But that is where true power lies. You are strong when you don't need to react. You are powerful when you can watch, understand, and respond with wisdom, not habit. Let's talk about judgment for a moment. Every day the mind is judging. This food is bad. This person is boring. This day is ruined. But where does this judgment come from? Your past, your preferences, your mood. The truth is, nothing is truly good or bad by itself. It is the mind that labels. Look at a rainy day. One person says, oh, what a gloomy day. Another says, how peaceful and fresh. But the rain is the same. Only the judgment changes. Now ask yourself, if you remove the judgment completely, what remains? Just rain. Just sky. Just now. This is what we practice, to see things as they are, without coloring them with thought. A Zen student once asked his master, how do I reach enlightenment? The master replied, when hungry, eat. When tired, sleep. The student said, but I already do that. The master smiled. No, you eat with 1,000 thoughts in your head. You sleep with worries in your chest. That is not it. So simple, so deep. To eat when eat, to walk when walking. To live just as life is, without labeling, without comparing, without judging. This is the mirror mind. Let's bring this to real life. Next time you're stuck in traffic, don't judge the cars. Don't hate the delay. Just sit, breathe, notice, be a mirror. You'll be surprised how peaceful you feel even in a noisy place. Or when someone is angry with you, don't fight, don't freeze. Watch, understand, respond with calm. This is not weakness, it is wisdom. The world is full of noise, but your mind doesn't have to be. Your heart can remain clear like a mirror in the mountains. Remember, the mirror reflects, but does not hold. It sees everything but remains untouched. It accepts all but becomes none. That is your true nature. That is the mirror mind. And that is the beauty of calm observation. So my dear listener, in your daily life, keep this question close. Am I reacting or am I reflecting? And slowly, slowly, let your mind become clear. Let your heart become light. Let your life become peaceful, not by force, not by control, but by watching, by understanding, by simply being the mirror, walking through the world without disturbance. Now come closer. Let me speak to you about something many people wish for, but few ever learn. How to walk through the world without being disturbed by it. Yes, it is possible. Yes, it is real. But it begins, not with controlling the world, but with understanding your own mind. Look around you. This world is full of noise, pressure, desires, distractions. People rush, people worry, People want something every second. The world shouts, be this, get that, win here, run faster. And if you're not careful, you'll be pulled into the noise like a leaf caught in the wind. But a calm mind does not get pulled. It does not run with the wind. It watches, it breathes. It walks silently through the storm. He smiles when others shout. She observes when others judge. They walk, but do not get shaken. This is the way of the one who observes without attachment. You see, most people react. Someone insults them, they feel hurt. Someone praises them, they feel proud. Someone ignores them, they feel small. But the one who has learned to watch says, ah, a wave has come. It will pass. In Buddhism, we don't say the world is the problem. We say how we respond to the world is the problem. There is a beautiful word, apaka, equanimity. It means a balanced, unshaken mind. Not cold, not careless, just steady, like a mountain watching the wind pass by. When you develop this kind of inner stability, even if the world burns, your heart remains cool. You don't have to fight everything. You don't have to react to everything. Sometimes, just seeing clearly is enough. Let me give you a small story. A young monk once asked his master, how do I deal with people who try to disturb me? The master said, when someone brings you a gift, and you do not accept it, to whom does it belong? The monk replied, to the one who brought. The master smiled, then do not accept their anger. So simple, so deep. Most people live like sponges, absorbing every insult, every opinion, every bit of noise. But you, dear one, you must learn to live like a mirror. Reflect, but do not absorb. Observe, but do not carry. Watch, but do not cling. This is the way. This is the art. This is the power of a quiet mind, walking through a loud world untouched, unshaken, free. All your life you thought you were the river, the flow of thoughts, the rush of feelings, the storms, the calm, the noise, the silence. But now you begin to see, you are not the river. You are the one sitting on the bank, watching, still, unmoved. This is the final truth, not something new to add, but something ancient to remember. You are the calm witness. You are the awareness that sees everything arise and pass. You don't need to fix the waves. You only need to stop believing you are them. A thought comes. You see it. A fear rises. You feel it. A desire pulls. You notice it. But you remain, like the sky that watches clouds, like the mountain that watches wind, like the moon that watches tides. You remain. You reflect. You witness. And when you live from this place, the world does not have to be different for you to be free. No person has to change. No situation has to be perfect, because your peace no longer depends on outer silence. It arises from inner seeing. This is not philosophy. This is practice. Begin small. Next time the mind shouts, this should not be, you gently whisper, this is what is. Let me see it. Next time you feel pain, don't become it. Watch it. Sit beside it. Let it move through you, like wind, through trees. This is not about denying life. It's about entering it fully, but without drowning in it. You feel every emotion, but you don't cling to it. You hear the noise, but you don't lose your silence. This is how the Buddha smiled. Not because the world was easy, but because his mind was free. So now, my dear listener, the teaching is yours. Not something to memorize, but something to live. Live as the witness. Walk as the calm one. Let the river flow. Let the wind blow. Let the world turn. And you simply sit on the bank, smiling, breathing, free. You are not here to control the storm. You are here to be the stillness within it. And from that stillness, you will begin to touch life more deeply than ever before. So breathe. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice your breath like a wave, and say gently, I am here. I see. I do not cling. You are the calm witness, and now you know the way. You've endured every wave, every storm, and yet here you are quietly sitting by the shore. All this time you've simply been watching, and when you truly remember this, a deep peace settles in your heart, not because life has become perfect, but because you've stopped needing to resist it. Thoughts still come, but you now know you're not your thoughts. Emotions rise and fall, but they no longer control you. The world may tremble, but you don't have to tremble with it. Just watch. This quiet awareness is the greatest power, not in controlling the world, but in seeing it clearly, calmly. In Buddhism, this is called Tathagata, the one who flows with life, not resisting, not clinging, just seeing, just being. You don't need to become anything. You only need to return to what you truly are, the observer, the calm center, the one who knows that all things rise and fall, and yet you remain. Have you felt this during our journey together? Maybe in those small, quiet moments, when you paused instead of reacting in anger, when you took a deep breath instead of raising your voice, when you simply listened instead of speaking. That was it. That was the witness, awakening. You might wonder, will I always feel this peace? No, there will still be storms. You'll still forget sometimes. But now you know that deep within you is a place of stillness, always present, always watching, always wise. Come back to it again and again, in traffic, in heartbreak, in confusion, in joy. Just return. You don't need to add more to yourself. You only need to let go of what you're not, the noise, the fear, the doubt, and what remains is peace. So now, dear friend, the path is yours. You no longer need a Zen master at your side, because the master is within you. It always has been. Every breath is a bell calling you back to presence. Every sound, every feeling, every moment is your teacher. Sit in stillness, walk with grace, speak with care, observe deeply. Let your life itself become a meditation. When you feel lost, don't panic. Just stop, breathe, observe. You'll return to yourself. You are the sky, not the storm. You are the mountain, not the wind. You are the witness, not the chaos. And before you go, let me ask you one final thing. If you found even a flicker of silence within your heart through this series, would you share it with others? Not by preaching, not by pushing, just by living it. Let others feel it in your calm presence, see it in your eyes, hear it in your words. That will be your teaching. And finally, a gentle reminder. There are thousands who view this channel, but only so. Please, like, comment, share, and subscribe to Insightful Journey. It keeps this message alive and helps more people discover this peace. Now go, but don't forget what you've remembered. Stay still. Observe everything.